Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the pre-bid and technical review meeting for the Chicago Department of Transportation, Capital Program Alleys, Various Locations, Package 10. The contract number for this project is C 1633, and today's presentation is approximately 11 o'clock a.m. on July 21st, 2026. Our agenda is on the screen. We'll start with introductions, then go over procurement details, which I'll handle, then compliance, which our Deputy Director of Compliance, Jesse Rodriguez, will handle, and then our technical review portion, which Robert Ochi, our project manager, will handle, and then we'll wrap it with a Q&A session. So please hold your questions until then. Thank you. We'll start today with introductions. We'll begin with our PBC team. I am Dee Taylor, the contract officer for the project. And next, I'll turn it over to Patty.
Good morning, Patricia Montenegro, PBC Procurement. Welcome.
Good morning, Miguel Fernandez, PBC Procurement.
Good morning, Minnie Keys, PBC Procurement.
Good morning, Robert Ochi, PBC Project Management.
Good morning, Jesse Rodriguez, PBC Compliance.
Okay, if that's it for our PBC team.
Javier Descoto, PBC. I got my team with me, Ivan, Fauzi, and Yash.
Thanks, Javier. Okay, any more PBC staff? Okay, if not, we'll move on to our CDOT team and partners. Please introduce yourselves. Okay, if we do not have any of our CDOT team and partners on the line, do we have any general contractors?
Yeah, Vasilia Sekleris with BOA Construction.
Thank you. And please make sure everyone put your name and company in the chat. Are there any subcontractors or suppliers with us here today? Okay, let's get started. I will jump right into the procurement details. The project locations for this project, there are 4 project locations. Project number 22961 is located at East 79th Street in Ward 7. Project number 22962, located at East 95th Street, Ward 7. Project number 22963, located at East 73rd Street, also in Ward 7. And project number 22964, located at East 108th Street in Ward 9. The general scope of work includes reconstruction of alley sewers, subgrade and pavement utilizing recycled construction materials and methods implemented by the City of Chicago, full depth alley pavement reconstruction. In addition, the work includes proper handling and disposal of on-site material, Portland cement concrete base course, hot mix asphalt surface course, sewer and drainage structures, sewer cleaning and televising, vortex restrictors, concrete curb and gutter, concrete sidewalks, and ADA ramps various depths, concrete driveways, concrete garage aprons, concrete alleys, pre-molded rubber speed bumps, permeable concrete block pavers, specifically at East 79th Street and East 73rd Street. Bedding and void opening aggregates for permeable concrete block pavers, geotechnical fabric, topsoil, and hydraulic seeding. The contractor will be required to prepare a phasing and logistics plan within 30 days of the notice to proceed, also called the NTP, for review and approval by both CDOT and PBC prior to the mobilization and commencement of any work. The contractor shall also provide critical submittals, including sewer and drainage structures and pavers as applicable, within 30 days of issuance of the NTP. On-site construction work at each alley location must be completed within 45 calendar days from commencement of work for alleys without concrete block pavers and 60 days for alleys that include concrete block pavers. The time of completion for this project includes 2 milestones and substantial completion. Schedule milestone number 1 includes pre-construction, including construction submittals, material and equipment procurement, schedule preparation and issuance, mobilization and utility coordination, and CDOT permitting for projects number 22961, 22962, 22963, and 22964. For this milestone, the contractor can start no sooner than August 11th, 2026, and must complete the project by September 14th, 2026. Substantial completion includes alley reconstruction and associated work for projects 22961, 62, 63, and 64. The contractor can start no sooner than September 1st, 2026, and must complete the project by November 27th, 2026. Schedule milestone number 2 includes new landscaping. Contractor can start no sooner than October 1st, 2026, and must complete the work by November 27th, 2026. Liquidated damages will be assessed if the contractor fails to achieve the substantial completion or either of the 2 milestones. There will be $1,500 per day assessed for liquidated damages if the contractor fails to achieve substantial completion, and $500 per day liquidated damages assessed for failure to achieve either of the 2 scheduled milestone dates. The documents for this project are available in a few places. For one, you can find them on our current opportunities page for PVC. The web address is on the screen. Also, in our online plan room with our printer Blue Edge, the address and contact information is also on the screen. The contact for this project, the printer's name is Jesus Favela. The project includes a Book 1, Book 2, Book 3, and construction drawings. Book 1 includes the introduction, general project overview, submission requirements, and a few of the highlights include the bid form, the MBE, WBE, EEO goals, and the community area map. Book 2 includes the standard terms and conditions for the contract. Book 3 includes the technical specifications. And as I mentioned, there are also construction drawings for the project. Documents for this project can also be found with our assist agencies. We have several shown on the screen. PBC also encourages contractors to contact the assist agencies because they also have membership that includes MBEs and WBEs that are available for the project. The technical review meeting today for this project will be held immediately following this meeting at approximately 11:30 a.m. So far, there has been no site visit scheduled for this project. However, failure of the bidders to become familiar with the project shall not relieve or alter the bidder's responsibility for completing the work as required by the contract documents. Requests for information, also called RFIs, are to be directed solely to me as the sole point of contact, D. Taylor. Again, I'm the contract officer, and you can direct those to my email, dee.taylor@cityofchicago.org. The deadline for submitting your RFI is Tuesday, July 28th, 2026 by 4:00 p.m. For the addenda for this project includes one addendum number 1, which was just issued today, July 21st, 2026, and it includes the community area map, which was forthcoming in Book 1. The bid due date and time for this project is Wednesday, August 5th, 2026 at 11:00 a.m. However, this is subject to change via addendum. So we recommend that all contractors sign up for PBC alerts so you will receive the notifications for any of the changes. The bid opening meeting will be virtual. It'll be streamed live and will be recorded and available on our website, for viewing on PBC's homepage at www.pbcchicago.com, as well as on the current opportunities page for this project, found at the address listed on the screen. Bid submission requirements. The bid must be submitted electronically with one email that includes the following 3 documents. One complete copy of the bid document, which must have original signatures in blue ink or digital signature. You must also include your bid bond in your submission, and the PDF document should be a searchable PDF document and not a scanned copy, with the exception of documents only available as a copy, such as licenses. You also must include one complete copy of the master bid form document in PDF format and one complete copy of the master bid form document in Excel format. You must email your submission to pbc-procurement@cityofchicago.org and also directly to me, dee.taylor@cityofchicago.org. So again, your bid must be submitted via email to 2 places. If for whatever reason the bidder is unable to submit electronically, you may request instruction for submitting a hard copy of your bid in writing to myself, again, D. Taylor, dee.taylor@cityofchicago.org, and our Director of Procurement, James Borkman, will issue a response. The pre-award meeting for this project is scheduled to be held Friday, August 7th, 2026 at 10 o'clock a.m. It is a virtual meeting, and again, is subject to change via addendum, so we encourage you to sign up for the PBC alerts to be notified. The lowest responsive and responsible bidder should be required to have at a minimum the project executive, the project manager, and the cost estimator in attendance for the pre-award meeting. You must also invite principals of all of your MBE, WBE subcontractors listed on your Schedule D. You also must provide and be prepared to discuss the schedule of values, if applicable, for the project, and provide a list of pre-award meeting attendees in advance of the meeting. The notice of award is anticipated to be released after the August 2026 PBC Board of Commissioners meeting. The successful general contractor for this project will be required to provide compliance certificate of insurance as well as a payment and performance bond within 7 days of the NOA issuance. Book 1 and Book 2, a few highlights for the project are includes the budget, the staffing, and additional requirements. All of this information can be found in Book 1. The estimated construction budget can be found on page 4. That budget is $5,500,000 to $5,600,000. The mandatory project staffing can be found on page 6. Scheduling software requirements also on page 6. Liquidated damages information on page 6 and 7, and prevailing wage rates can be found on page 7 as well as page 47, where we include a direct link to the Illinois Department of Labor's website. Joint ventures are encouraged for this project. You would be required to submit a joint venture affidavit, which is a Schedule B. That can be found also in Book 1 on page 32, the JV agreement, and certification letters. Here's a sample of the bid form for this project. The total amount will automatically populate at the bottom of the page where you see the red circle. We require that you provide your surety's information. We want the name and address of your surety, as well as information on your firm's name, and the date that you are submitting your bid. Each alley has a separate tab. There are 4 separate tabs for each of the 4 locations, as you can see on the screen. You are to enter your pricing for all 4 alleys individually, and the master bid form will automatically populate the total. Here's a sample of the bid form schedule of prices. You enter your unit pricing here where you see the arrow pointing to the oblong circle. You enter the pricing for each individual line, and the sheet will automatically total at the bottom. And that amount automatically populates on the master bid form. Here's a sample of the award criteria figure form. As you can see, the small arrows pointing to the lines that you are to enter, or the contractor is to enter the percentages for minority journeymen, apprentices, laborers, female journeymen, apprentices, and laborers who will participate on the project. Those percentages have the maximum amounts listed on the description line, and our compliance team will go over that in more detail shortly. Again, the total amount populates at the bottom of the page, and that as well is transferred to the master bid form. The award will be made, the basis of award can be found in Book 1 on page 11. Award will be made to the responsible bidder submitting the lowest grand total award criteria figure, which is on line 19 of the bid form, whose corresponding grand total base bid, which is on line 18 of the bid form, is within the available funds for each alley and is otherwise responsive to all requirements of the contract documents. Firms are required to fill out the entire bid form in order to be considered responsive. The Commission reserves the right to reject any and all bids wherever such rejection is in the best interest of the Commission. Bids that the PBC considers unbalanced, to be materially unbalanced, will be rejected. This portion of our meeting will cover compliance, and I will turn it over now to Jesse Rodriguez, our Deputy Director of Compliance.
Thank you, Dee. Good morning, everyone. For this project, the MBWE goals are 26% MBE and 6% WBE. This means that 26% of the total contract value has to come from minority-owned businesses and 6% has to come from women-owned businesses. The PBC only accepts certifications from the City of Chicago or Cook County. The MBE or WE firm must be certified in the scope of work they are performing. Additional information regarding MBE and WE special conditions can be found under Book 2, Article 23. So award criteria figure. The maximum award criteria figure for minority journey, minority apprentice, and minority labor is 70%. And the maximum for female journey, female apprentice, and female labor is 15%. The PBC also has two requirements. One of them is community hiring. That is 7.5%. So 7.5% of the total hours have to come from community residents, and 50%. We also have another requirement, which is city residency. That is 50%. That means that 50% of the total hours have to come from city residents. This is your community area map. These are the communities that will be assigned to the project. Anyone, or I shouldn't say anyone. If you have employees that will be working on this project and reside in these communities, you will receive credit. So this is where the 7.5% of the total hours they have to come from these communities that are assigned to the project.
And again, I'd just like to mention what I said earlier, that the community hiring map is now included in Addendum 1, which was just issued this morning. Thank you, Jesse.
The PBC also uses B2G. That is our MBWE compliance monitoring system. We basically track all payments between the GC and the subs. We also have participation from established businesses, manufacturers, suppliers, and brokers. Established businesses is a certified MBE or WE firm that is participating in the city's phased graduation program. The business can only receive the credit percentage of the established business. For the first year, a participating established business can earn 75% MBE or WE credit for its performance. And the second year, they could earn only 50%, and the third year they could only receive 25%. Manufacturers receive 100% credit, suppliers receive only 60% credit, and brokers receive 0 credit. Going back to the suppliers, so that's only 60% of the contract value for the supplier. So let's just say you have a supplier that his contract value is 200,000. They would only receive 120,000. That would be the 60% credit that they would receive, the 120,000. You go to the next page. Okay, so this is the Schedule D. The Schedule D form, this form should be completed by the contractor. You will be able to, you will identify your MBW credit amounts on this page. If you have a supplier and their credit, oh, okay, I just mentioned that as well. I'm sorry. If you have a supplier, the goal is to reach 26% MB participation and 6% W participation. So that Schedule D is to be completed and signed. The second page is to be signed as, I'm sorry, the signature goes on the second page. And there's also a Schedule D. Schedule C, I'm sorry. So I did forget to mention that the Schedule D, on the Schedule D, that is the list of all your MBs and WE firms that you receive credit for. That's the page that they would be listed on. We can go to the Schedule C. So the Schedule C form, again, the Schedule C identifies the subcontractor's total contract value amount. The subcontractor should complete this form. This is where the total contract value should appear. This on page 2, the subcontracting levels highlighted in green should be completed. If an MBE or WB is subletting work to a non-MBE or WB, they cannot receive the percentage of credit for their MBE or WB participation. For example, if 10% of the work is being sublet and the contract value is 100,000, the credit will only be for 90,000. So if you have an MBE firm that is subletting to a non and the contract value is 100,000, they're only gonna receive credit for the 90,000 if they're subletting 10% of that value. I think that's all I have, Dee.
Okay, thank you, Jesse. As a reminder, I am the PBC sole point of contact for this project. D. Taylor, dee.taylor@cityofchicago.org. Please direct all of your inquiries to me. Next, we'll get into the technical review portion of the meeting, and I'll turn it over to Robert Ochi, our project manager.
All right, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Dee. So I'm going to go over the project overview, which is basically the boundaries for these 4 alley sites. Then I'll hand it over to Jamel Cox to go over the technical review of each of the alleys and their individual scopes of work. So project locations are as follows, and these are the boundaries. East 79th Street, which is bounded by East 81st Street, South Kingston Avenue, and South Colfax Avenue. East 95th Street, which is bounded by East 96th Street, South Marion Avenue, South Ogilvy Avenue. East 108th Street, which is bounded by East 109th, South Indiana Avenue, South Prairie Avenue. And the final alley in this package is East 73rd Street, which is East 74th, South Oglesby Avenue, and South Yates Boulevard. Let's hand it over to Jamel Cox, who will go over each of the individual alleys and the technical aspects of each one. Jamel?
If you're speaking, Jamel, we can't hear you. You may be on mute.
He just texted me that he's having audio problems.
Okay. So Robert, do you want to go over the information?
Sure, I can go over each individual alley location and the project overview for each of these. So for East 79th Street, these are the existing conditions: deteriorating pavement, HMA speed humps, utility pole located within the existing public right-of-way, mix of commercial and residential use, existing drainage systems, and alley width varies from 16 to 20 feet wide. That's a project overview for the existing conditions. So this is what we're proposing for the improved conditions for East 79th Street. Planning to use concrete block paver surface for the drainage proposed for the 5 catch basins. There's going to be a 12-inch extra strength vitriol clay piping, 12-inch ductile iron piping, and 8-inch extra strength vitriol clay piping. And we're going to also add rubberized speed humps. And those are the details shown. For the next location, which is East 95th Street, the existing conditions are as follows. We have deteriorated pavement, which is ponding and causing ponding of water. Utility poles located within the existing public right-of-way. Mix of commercial and residential use. And existing sewer systems. These are the proposed renovated conditions we're proposing for the alley for 95th Street. So we're planning on installing 5 catch basins. We're going to be using 18-inch extra strength vitriol clay pipe, 12-inch extra strength vitriol clay pipe, 8-inch ductile iron pipe, and we're reusing sewer structures, or I'm saying sewer system. For the third alley location, which is East 108th Street, the existing conditions are as follows. We have deteriorated pavement and existing speed humps, utility poles located within the existing public right-of-way. We have residential use, and there is no existing sewer line system within this alley. So this is what we're proposing as part of the reconstruction. We're planning on installing 2 catch basins. We're going to be using 18-inch vitrified clay piping, 18-inch ductile iron piping with connections to a 24-inch diameter sewer on 108th Street. We'll be installing rubberized speed humps, coordination with Crown Castle to adjust manholes on South Prairie Avenue. In our final location, which is East 73rd Street, the existing conditions are as follows. Deteriorating pavement, utility poles located within the public right-of-way, residential use. There are no existing sewer lines, existing HMA speed humps. So for the proposed reconstruction of the alley, we're proposing to use concrete block paver, three catch basins to be installed. We're going to be using 12-inch extra strength vitrified clay piping and an 8-inch ductile iron pipe connection to a 72-inch sewer line on East 74th Street. And we will also be installing rubberized speed humps. So Dee, that's kind of an overview of all the alleys within this alley
Yes.
package.
Thank you, Robert. Okay, we have reached the portion of our meeting where we'll take any questions. This is our Q&A portion. Are there any questions for any of the presenters today?
And D confirming that there are no questions within the chat.
Okay, thank you, Patty. Okay, well, that concludes our meeting today. Thank you, everyone, for joining our Chicago Department of Transportation Capital Program her alleys, various locations, package 10. Our pre-bid and technical review meeting will conclude now. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dee.